Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hello, everybody. Good evening. We should be live. Please let us know if the audio is all in order in the chat. You can also use the chat for all your questions during the night. We will be answering them at certain set points throughout the live stream. Any questions? All questions. Just put them in there. And yeah, just a quick introduction. My name is Jeffrey. I am the lead developer of the game. And I am working on most of the simulation stuff in Festival's Headliners. And tonight with me is Pim, who is a co-developer. Pim, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Pim. I'm the co-developer of Festival's Headliners. I've been working on some of the camera things, and I also do parts of the music for the game. Pleased to meet you all, and welcome to our live stream.
Yeah, welcome, Pim. So today we are gonna try and take you through some of the things we've been working on for these past few months. We'll first do a simple playthrough where we'll play through the game. Also, all the alpha testers who have signed up before this live stream should have received their Steam keys a couple of hours ago. So check your email, make sure you activate your Steam key and start the download, and you can probably play right along with us. Yeah, about the testing, the alpha testing program, we're still looking for lots and lots of alpha testers. Even though the game is barely playable, we would like to have your feedback throughout this whole process and try to make, in our attempts to make the best game possible. We want to know what works in terms of gameplay, what kind of game mechanics you would like to see, what you would like the visitors to do, the crew to do, the artists to do, all that sort of stuff. So that's why we are starting with alpha now already, even though there's not that much you can do. We still think it's pretty fun to play around with, and we would like to know about any and all of your findings. We'll get back to that on how you can report those to us, and I'll show you two buttons we added recently to make that easier. That said, I think we can, Pim, could you possibly throw the link for the
Yes.
sign up in the chat on Steam?
Will create a Discord invite.
Yeah.
So people can immediately, there you go, follow the link.
Yes.
I just posted in the chat, and you'll be able to join the Discord immediately. You'll be sent right to the correct channel to apply for an alpha key.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Hell
I
yeah.
should have it running here. Yes, there we go. Let's turn on our nice background music, which was also just added. So right now we are in the main menu of the game. Again, we've added a very large alpha notice. We call it the disclaimer. We recently added some more points where you can see that below here. Some of the text is overflowing. As it mentions, all the artwork which you will see in the game is temporary, will be completely replaced before we release the game, either in early access or when we do the full release. It kind of depends on how many people will interact with the early release and how far we can get before we will go from early release to early access, I should say, early access to full release. Stuff which all will be added before the full release is stuff like animations, the visitors, the performers, all that artwork will be replaced and added soon. We don't have the concept of finances or ticket sales in the game at this moment, so that's also something we really want to add before we offer the game in an early access version. Also, no stock keeping. There's commercial objects, of course, like food and drink stands, which don't have any stock yet. I'm not gonna go through the whole list, but there's a whole bunch of stuff like that, and we'll point some of it out during the game as well. Like I said, this is the main menu. We've got some cool buttons here. You can set up your player. Right now you can only set up a player name, but in due time this will be expanded so you can set up your entire brand of your event company with custom logos, custom colors, and certain specific things about your organization. We have the settings menu, which isn't working at this moment. That was a bug I noticed just prior to starting this live stream. We'll have to look into that. That said, there's not a lot of settings in use at the moment. You can switch between windowed and full screen. Though full screen is only at a resolution of 1024 by 768, if I'm correct. So you wouldn't really want to use full screen mode anyway. That's also something which obviously will change in the near future once we patch up the settings window as well. Some credits for the music in the game, the beautiful background music which you are listening to now. The sound effects, and of course that this is a .io production. On the right we have a list of earlier events which have been built by you in the game. You can easily switch back to your setups and run an event and see how many visitors will attend this time. But of course the most important button is right down here, start new sandbox. At this moment only sandbox mode is included. We'll add career modes and various kinds in the future, where you start with a very small event site and you will move along bigger and bigger sites as your career grows. But for now it's only sandbox, and in our sandbox mode we only have two available event sites, event terrains, locations, whatever you want to call them. We call them sites inside the game. Dev scene is where we started with. It's very small, but a lot of visitors are generated there. We also have dev scene large, which is a lot larger but has a lower number of visitors, which you don't really it does have a higher number of visitors, of course, but you don't really notice because the site is that much bigger. Let's show you the small one first. Live event, and here we are in our live event site. As I said, this is pretty small, but there's a nice patch of land of grass, flat area, which you can use to build the event of your dreams. Oh, clipping through some trees there. We can also take a look at this from above. This camera mode would normally move, but that's also an issue which we are working on at the moment and will probably be fixed by Pim by the end of the live stream. We'll see. It's a challenge. But
I have the fix ready. I just need to apply it.
Oh yeah, and I also need to push some buttons. So we'll be getting into that after the live stream. If you apply for an alpha testing key, you'll get that update pushed to you automatically in the coming days. Quick walk through the UI. I already showed you the camera mode buttons. The view layers we will get into a little bit later. We have a very nasty looking edit mode selection box here. We need this because we don't have any other way to let you know if you are selecting things, placing things, or deleting things at the moment, so then you can look there to know what you are doing. And up here will have notifications. We don't have any notifications at this moment because we haven't done anything yet, but that will soon change. As you can see in the bottom here, we are in the pre-production phase. I see a fix me which should have been fixed but isn't fixed yet. Each event starts in the pre-production phase, where you as the player basically lay out the entire event. You can try out various things, various setups of objects which would work. Once you are happy with the way you set everything up, or you just want to get started, you press play, and then you will move to the load-in phase. At the moment, there's not much that happens in the load-in phase. The artists arrive at the event and go to their stages. In the future, that is the moment that all your event stuff will actually be built. So before that, you were just templating, drawing out your event site, and then you have to make sure that enough crew is available to actually build everything in time before the show starts, because the clock is ticking.
So, what are the different phases of gameplay that will be in the game?
At this moment, we have the only actual phase where stuff is happening is the show phase, after which happens after load-in. Once the show phase has completed, we will proceed to load out, where also everything has to be cleared again in a certain amount of time. That mostly starts in the middle of the night when the final artist has wrapped up their show. And then you end up in post-production, where you can look at your finances, but the event's gameplay is pretty much over. And from there on, you will be able to restart the event, just straight on to the second year, and receive visitors again, perhaps book a new lineup, that sort of stuff. But you don't have to start again from scratch. I already opened, and now I closed it again. Opened the placement menu. I'm gonna try to make this a bit bigger so you can see all the buttons. We've got some awesome models here. Like I said, these are mostly picked from the Unity Asset Store. These will be replaced, though I really like this little chemical toilet, so we might just leave this in. We've got our beautiful bartend. We've got expect a lot of errors now. We've got our large stage. Yeah, like I said, a lot of errors. This is our large stage, which maybe should be rotated in order to show it better. Let's close this. This is our small stage. For most events, this is much more suitable for now. This also has lights on it, as you can see, so when it turns dark, you have all the beautiful lights lighting all your beautiful artists. We've got some food trucks, barbecue, chocolate, fast food, fish food, hot dogs, ice cream, pizza, roast, coffee and tea. Well, from your visitors have nothing to complain when it comes to the different kinds of food they can eat at the event. I mean, there's plenty of stuff, and they are all these hipster food trucks, so that should pretty much be suitable for anybody.
We're missing a very important one, though. We're missing the Mexican food truck.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, if you're feeling like you want to do some 3D modeling, Pim, then you can take it up and build one.
Sure, in due time when I finally get to learn Blender.
Oh, you gotta love Blender. This is the light mast, which you can use to light out entire areas. In a short time, we will be adding some colored lights as well, and some more decorative lights. You'd normally see these possibly at a parking lot or at toilets or those sorts of service-oriented areas. And we will want to offer some different variants for on your festival site. That's something which we will want to add very soon to make it look a little bit more dynamic as well. But these are also really nice to use. We have this cute little hot dog stand. I love hot dog stands like this. And this also gives you an idea of the style we want to go for the actual assets which will be in the game. So somewhat detailed, but not too detailed. Still kind of artsy looking. Picnic tables, which are awesome to look at, but they won't be used by visitors yet, because visitors don't have the concept of taking breaks or resting. In the final game, they will get some food and then look for some picnic tables to sit there and eat their food, but also when they get tired, have a sit there and rest for a bit. So you can place these down, but they won't be used yet. Some planters, of course, to pimp up your event. There's planters, there are no trees, because I've worked at a lot of festivals and I've never seen like a forest of trees planted for an event. So we won't be adding trees for now. We will, however, in a later stage give you the access to an editor which you can use to build your entire event site and add your own mountains, trees, roads, whatever, and entirely customize your set. That is about it for the small event site. For our actual demo, I would like to use the large one. Go away. So we will switch back to the main menu. Big live event. And we select dev scene large. And here you can see our large festival site, which has a couple of different areas which are really suitable to put a stage. You have this nice little nook here you can put the stage in. One of the options which will soon be added is one to change the speed at which the camera rotates, because I have to make really tiny adjustments now. But that will be added very soon. You could put a small stage here as well. I think maybe we'll do something with a food court here. This could be a nice area for a little food court. The entrance for visitors of the event is over here. So they will arrive here and then move. Well, probably you want to move them through this area onto the event site. This is the biggest field, I think. This is where you would normally probably put a main stage. In the videos we've made so far and the various animations you've seen in our updates, we often put the stage there, but you could also put a very big one over here, which would also be nice. Option we can look into. This is a nice area also for either a stage or a food court. You could do a cool food court here as well. It depends on how many sizes you have on your, how many stages you have on your festival, probably. Let's place some stuff down. Let's get started. For this event, I want to do a lot of small. Okay, let me do a quick restart.
Please bear with us while we quickly fix our technical difficulties.
It seems we also had a connection hiccup to Steam's live stream service there. I hope everybody is still with us. Let's see if that came. Yeah, okay. I think everything is working again. La-ti-da-ti-da. And we'll select small stage. Yes, this seems to be working as it's supposed to. Let's start with the smaller areas. I think I'm gonna put my small stage over here. Somewhere over there probably. Between these trees. If I move it too far up the hill, you'll see that it won't be able to place because, well, we're up a hill. Trees at this moment are no problem. We can just build around the tree. That's also one of the things we still have to fix. Let's put this here.
Yeah, you can also apparently build up in a tree, which is...
Shh, don't tell them that this actually works.
Exactly that. A perfect example. But, you know, gotta find the humor in it, right?
Yeah, it has to be fun, you know. It has to be fun. It's a game. It's exactly. A game.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Let's put one over there. I want to really build a food court where people go for food, so that's about it for what I want to put over there. And I think I'm gonna use this little area for another stage. Make sure it doesn't clip into the terrain too much. Around there. Yeah, that works. I think that works very nicely. And again, some drink stands to go with it. One over there. Maybe we'll put one across over here. We want to give our people options to go to. A bit behind this tree. And I think along this corridor, I'm going to put where is my picnic table? Some picnic tables. Maybe some planters. Okay, that's enough. Oh, let's put some toilets over here as well. Might be useful. Once we have fences integrated into the game, you could, of course, put a nice fence around these to kind of hide them out of sight. Or just find a better place for them, because that's a really bad place to put toilets, but gotta hurry up a bit. So here we would do our food court. I'm gonna do a barbecue truck over here. Get some pizza. Some roast. And by design, these are my favorites. The fish, the fresh fish truck, and the fast food truck.
It's a real tongue twister.
Yeah, I think it's just mostly because of the fish and the
fresh fish.
Fish. Yeah, the fish and the fries, which are on top of these models. Why I like them so much. But that's nice.
Looking good.
Yeah, right. We'll put some more picnic benches here for people to once upon a time sit on once they've learned how picnic benches work. And of course they need some trash bins. We don't want to be cleaning up after them too much. And maybe we'll put some toilets between these trees so they are kind of... Oh, that's too steep. If I just get them in there. Okay, so food court is set up. We have 2 stages now. I would like to add a third one here. I'm very tempted to use the large one because of it just fits really well here. And we will have to put some lights around it to light it up because it doesn't have any lights at the moment, but that's fine. Let's do that. Oh no, not that button. Close. Light mast. Put those there. There's my pagoda tent. I want people at the front to also easily be able to get a drink. I haven't placed the coffee and tea food truck yet, I believe. No. So we'll add that one in over here to sort of fence this backstage area off. Ice cream. Also no ice cream yet, we'll put that there.
So, from your experience in festival production, right? Do people often get coffee and tea at like outdoor festivals, or is it just?
It depends. If it's a weekender, then during the morning, the only stalls which will get any attention is where they still sell cold beer and the coffee stalls. Beer is always consumed very well, but coffee especially in the mornings, yeah. Ice cream, any techno EDM event you'd visit, there's a lot of people eating ice cream there. But that's not because they really just like ice cream. It's got more to do with the stuff they've...
Because it's very hot.
It's just very hot. They are just so hot. They are just so hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's you definitely find those around. Back in the day, I remember that you had these people with big backpacks full of coffee walking around camping sites, and you would hang a hanger on your tent, and they would wake you up in the morning with somewhat fresh coffee. It was very nice.
Emphasis on somewhat fresh.
Yeah. Let's not get into that. Nowadays,
was it at least hot?
It was hot, but it was, that was about everything that could be said of it. It was so watered down, syrupy. It was just nasty. Never go for that. Never go for that. Do we want some more stuff here? Maybe a hot dog stand over here. 1 or 2 little hot dog stands. Now
think
we
that looks
could.
good.
Looks
I
good,
guess we
right?
can- Yeah, I guess we can add some more picnic tables if we really want, but maybe not that close to the stage.
Maybe around here, some picnic
Yeah.
tables.
Exactly.
I also am gonna add some trash bins next to the hotdog stands. And we sort of have this hilly area, which is really bad to see because the terrain materials are terrible. But we'll just follow the colliders. When it collides, we know that we went too far.
And I think that's good.
I think this will do nicely. Now I can also show the object indicators button, so you get all these indicators. And once we have the concept of finances, of stock keeping in, we'll show the stock for these objects and other stuff like that. How many people are queuing, how busy it is, whether there's enough crew working there. And you will have various layers like this, also showing which areas are too crowded, where you might need to make bigger gaps for the crowd to get through. Let me just start this up. And now we've entered the load-in phase. Here you can see that this would be a possible crush area, because normally it would be wide like this. You could use this entire area to get through, but we've narrowed it down by placing the light mast here and adding those food trucks there. So that could be, normally you probably wouldn't do this, but as this is as straight as it is over here, it's not really that big of an issue. But those are really the kind of things you would have to watch for and make sure in the game that you really handle that sort of stuff well, that there's always plenty of space for people to move around. You're working with large crowds, and when dealing with large crowds, you have to make sure that they can move in any way in certain situations where people panic. And, well, that's what we planned for. While we've just started the event,
Somebody's now hopping on stage, or not?
he's trying to get on stage. I think he's looking for a way to get on stage. He might just take flight any moment now.
Oh, I found a gap.
Yeah, no, there.
Oh, there you go.
He's flying up. He's flying up. And actually, because he took that long detour, he's 30 minutes late for his performance. But
Slowest walker of mine.
luckily, the music already started, so the would-be visitors would be fine.
Exposed as a fake DJ.
Yeah.
He's not actually
yet another
He's
one.
not actually DJing. He's just faking.
I've always felt sorry for like the openers of festivals, because at many festivals, really the first opening act starts at doors open. So there literally is nobody in the field at the moment they start their gig. It takes like 30 minutes for some people to show up, but even by the end of that, not enough people have been able to have been allowed onto the festival site. So they'll always be playing for like nobody or barely anybody when they open an event. We see some people arriving. Some of our lovely visitors.
Hell yeah.
If we click on them, we get another bunch of errors. I think I should just clear this, and now... Oh, it still gives an error. Okay, never mind. Normally you could see where they're heading and stuff like that. We can click on the stage, that might work. Yeah, this shows us the performances which are still to come and how long they last. This is not a very nice way of looking at it, but this is the amount of minutes after festival start that this performance will start. two pieces of audio mixed together right now. That's because, of course, there are multiple artists playing at this moment. Let's have a look at the other stage, which is not over there, but over there. Not really busy here yet. It's also almost lunchtime, so many visitors will start heading to the food court soon. Oh yeah, also something that you might notice is once the visitors arrived at their the performance they want to see, they don't actually turn towards the stage to see it. They just stand there, which is also something we will be fixing soon. And we have, of course, this stage over here, a bit busier. Nothing playing here at the moment, I think. Something should start any time now, I'd say. Perhaps it's a bit of a longer gap over here. It's full-blown lunchtime now, so yeah, you can see people gathering up at the food court. They all want ice cream. Probably because that's the easiest, the closest way they can get anything to eat, so they all start eating ice cream.
They're just very hot.
Yeah, it's a sunny day, you know.
Exactly, it's a very sunny day.
It's always sunny in festivals headliners. For now, until we add weather. But for now, it's always sunny.
So, while the simulation is running, right?
Yeah.
Will there be things like, disasters or things to deal with? Because festivals don't always
go exactly according to plan.
Yeah, things like would you have to deal with, I don't know, artists showing up late or people, injuries in the crowd or
definitely of
like
course
that.
there's a lot of things you have to do to deal with security. Mostly you have to make sure that there's right now this is an entirely fenceless festival, so it would be pretty hard to get people to buy a ticket and to check whether everybody has a ticket on this event site. Also, everybody is able to walk on stage. Normally you wouldn't want that, so you would be putting up a lot of fencing, posting guards around, possibly putting security cameras throughout the event site to make sure that everything is managed properly, and again also to do that piece of crowd control where you'd have to make sure that there's never too many people in one part of the event at any time. So you've got to watch out for that sort of stuff. Of course, there's also visitors who don't just come for the festival, but also want to sell various things or do various things at your event. You have to patrol for that sort of stuff. It's mostly security related challenges, but also keeping everything in stock, making sure you have enough power to power all your various concerts, stages, bars, food stalls. Well, that's the stuff we have in there now, but all that sort of things. You need to power it, keep it fueled. You'll have to manage your golf carts to drive artists around the festival site. You'll have to rent telehandlers, which are like these big forklifts, which you can use to more quickly build up your stages. It's all that sort of stuff. And possibly later on we'll be adding some sort of disaster environments where you have to deal with really nasty weather, really heavy winds, where your stages might come falling over. You have to cancel days, you have to shut down parts of your festival site because it's too muddy, which lowers your capacity. So now you have all these visitors, which you've got nowhere to put. That's probably going to be in a DLC or something in the future. Not in the base game yet. Also, something like that is transportation. Making sure you have enough ways for all your visitors to get to the festival site. Have enough buses, have a connection to a train or something. Maybe you want to do some sort of international journey where you have flights coming in and you have to put everybody up in hotels and you have these large campsites. Also, that's something we want to put into a DLC at a certain point. And I've been talking so much that we're back in post production already. The event has ended. As you see, nobody seems to have noticed. They just stuck in the same position they were before. But that was our festival.
Hell yeah. Oh, what a beautiful sight to behold.
Yeah, it's lovely festival sights at night. When it's all quiet and everybody has gone away, it's one of the most serene places in the world, I'd say. Not here, because they don't leave. Once the festival is over, they just stick around forever. But normally, it's one of the most serene, tranquil environments. Or just prior to start of the event. But cool!
Indeed.
Now we can save this. And once I go back to the main menu and I reload Big Live Event, there is our event again. And we can start it again. And now we will continue. We could pretend like it's the second day of the festival or it's the next year. We could make some changes. For instance, we saw that everybody who wanted something to eat went over to this ice cream truck, and we don't really want that. We want them to use the food court, so we removed the ice cream truck from there. Maybe we will just, instead of this coffee thing,
put down some porta potties, some chemical toilets.
Some pagoda tents.
Oh, that works too.
Yeah, let's do 2. We're at load-in, about to pass the show in 2 minutes. And there we go. So this is basically how you play the game now. You build a festival site, you run it a couple of times, you make changes, you improve, you adjust. And once you're done with it, you just start a entirely new event. And you lay it out differently. We'll be adding more sites also in the coming weeks, so you can experiment around with that. And eventually we'll be adding the option to share your entire festival site, like the state we had it in after we loaded the save. You'll be able to share that save on the Steam Workshop, and your friends will be able to play their own variety, make their own changes to it, and use it sort of as a blueprint for an event.
Are there any other features planned for Steam, like with Steam integration with the Steam Workshop?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff we want to add. What we still want to start with for now are blueprints, basically, and artists and performances. So you can make your own performances, add your own music in. And distribute that using the Steam Workshop. Blueprints will be able to be shared using the Steam Workshop. We have the concept of structures, which I'm hoping to be able to show you in a bit. What you will be able to build using structures. Those can be shared on the Steam Workshop.
Right.
Mostly that sort of stuff. Mostly those sort of things. Eventually, we also want to add a content manager, which you can use to load your own 3D models into the game using actual FBX files, and use those as your own placeables. So you can really make entirely custom stages and benches, planters. You could probably import trees that way, which really will give you a lot of flexibility to do, well, basically anything you can imagine inside the game. And you'll be able to assign those models various properties for commercial objects, what kind of products they sell, how many people work there, how many people they are able to serve over a certain amount of time. You'll have a lot of options there, but that's really something we do want to have it done before before the full release. But that might be something which we have to postpone. We'll get there when we get there. So that's it for the playthrough for now. I went about 20 minutes over, but that's okay, I think. Are there
That's
any?
okay.
Are there
It's important
any?
to show.
Yeah, it's. Are there any questions for us right now? I don't think so, right? I think
No.
we've kept it very clear so far. Cool. Then I'm gonna close this for now, and I want to do a quick behind the scenes view of stuff still to come, which we already have been working on.
Oh, Steam just decided to.
And we're back.
There we go.
Small connection hiccup there.
Just streamer things, right? Those things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, Steam's streaming service is quite nice to work with, but it's a bit fidgety from time to time. You get these random disconnects. But I think everything is working properly again. I think so. Cool. So, this is the structure editor. Let's see if it works. I possibly should have pressed that button before starting to talk about it. Yeah, it's working. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon and it isn't working. But it's still working well enough to show you. This is the kind of stuff you will be able to build using the structure builder. These big scaffolds, arrangements. You can add blocks. Hey. And you can also add half blocks or quarter blocks. You can give them a metal top deck, or maybe you want to give them a dark wooden deck, put one on top of it, and you can also apply sides to these cubes and really get make some cool looking structures. For now you can only select colors for these sides, but you will be able to add your own images there. And these entire structures You can build inside of your terrain, or inside of your event, or you can build them in advance, and then also share them across the Steam Workshop, and make really really big structures, which your performers will actually be able to use and walk across. You'll be able to add your own lights, add fireworks. Maybe we'll be adding some LED screens, some blocks with LED screen sides. Everything is possible, but this is also pretty hefty for most computers to be able to really run this properly. So we'll have to see what works for most people there. But I think you'll be able to build some really cool structures. And this is not usable for stages. You can use this to build VIP decks, bridges, um, closed off areas where you really have like some more of a club setting maybe. Um, I think you can use this to build some really awesome stuff. And this is something which will be added, probably even before the early access release, but definitely before full release. But it will take a couple of months before this will get into the game. That was one of the things I wanted to show you. The other behind the scenes uh, view I wanted to give you wasn't that view. I wanted to show a little bit about the show editor. I'm not really sure if this is still gonna work. I haven't opened this one in quite a while. I'm not entirely sure if the project is still in here. Maybe we'll have to skip that one for now. I think we will have to because I can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it appears we don't have the scene with that setup right now. But that basically will give you the option to design your own lighting shows, and move lights to certain positions, have them flicker and snap just the way you want them. It works on a timeline principle, so you have a timeline where you can make cues, and at the various cues, the lights move to a certain position or change to a certain color. Fireworks can pop out. You can run animations on big screens. And you can also relate this to the performances. Like we discussed earlier, you can upload performances to the workshop, while you can also upload these accompanying shows to the workshop. And then you can build these massive, highly choreographed shows where performers are moving across the stage in certain things. And I think we'll be able to add some really cool stuff there. But again, that's one of the features we won't be adding on anytime soon. Right now, we are more focused on getting everything lighted in some way, and the lights will be starting to flicker and do all sorts of cool stuff at a later stage. Um, so yeah, I think that's about it for now.
All right. Very cool.
Yeah, are there any questions or any notes at all?
Oh, my camera feed just died.
Yeah, Pim, we lost you there. I'm getting a
Oh,
gray screen.
that's odd. I mean, I'm still wait. I didn't change anything. My camera's still working.
Uh, oh. Uh,
Weird.
yeah, you're back. You're back. I think the edge window went to sleep. Well, I think that
Oh,
about wraps it. That wraps it up. I think this is our cue that we've shown everything there is to show.
indeed. And for those that couldn't make it, um, I think you can rewatch the live stream to see what we've talked about.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out the Discord. I will repost the link in the chat right now. Here everybody goes. Yeah,
Thanks everybody for joining, for watching.
indeed. Thank
We
you so
hope you
much.
will join our awesome alpha tester squad and become a tester and experience this amazing game as soon as possible.
Indeed. If you have any questions, you can message either of us on Discord or any of the other channels
Yeah.
that we have.
We also have the email address testing@festivals-headliners.com. So if you're really not into Discord, you can also use that, but most of the magic happens on Discord, so be sure to join there. And we'll talk to you soon.
Indeed.